Hello and welcome. This is the second episode in the series of podcasts that I've started working on very recently. And in the first episode, I was talking about ways to prepare for your university, ways to prepare for the beginning of your journey as a student. And I thought to myself, hey, you haven't even mentioned what you did before you got in and started preparing, or didn't really start preparing for university. So today we are going to talk about one very important part of the very beginning of that journey. So, writing a personal statement. During the process of getting to the university you want to get in, you have to go through a certain process, which means that you have to first find the university that you want to go to and then apply through UCAS. I know that some people apply just straight to university without using any sort of websites. However, most of us applied through UCAS, I believe. And it's basically a website that only does that. They have a list of universities, they have a list of courses. You create a profile there and you apply through the website. There's a lot of articles on what to do step by step when it comes to UCAS, but also the website itself is pretty straightforward. It's very user friendly, so it's easy to use. And after you have applied to universities, you also have to submit a personal statement. The tricky part is that you can only submit one personal statement. So it doesn't matter if you want to apply to one university for their law course and to the other for their psychology course. You have to craft your personal statement in such a way that it fits every single course that you have applied for. What makes it easier is if you know what exactly you want to do, so the spectrum of the courses that you apply for is not too wide. In my case, I've applied for business studies with languages, and also for journalism, and then journalism and creative writing. So the spectrum was surprisingly enough not too big, even though next to a very creative course we also have business, but I've managed to work around that in my personal statement. What is a personal statement? Because I said the word quite a lot in the past 4 minutes and I still haven't said what it is. It's your chance to describe your ambitions, skills, and experience to the university, the college, admission staff. So you have to talk about yourself for about 2,000 words, I believe. It supports your application to study at a university or college, and it's that perfect chance where you can articulate, where you can tell them why you'd like to study a particular course or a particular subject, what skills or experience you have already in that field, and where you can really show the passion you have for your chosen field of study. So what I did was sum up everything I did throughout high school when it comes to writing. I also mentioned that I've had a blog for quite a while where I was basically writing a short story or a novel, something like that. I can't remember well enough what I used to write on that blog, but I was also writing essays for other people for money, which I really enjoyed. And I also mentioned the fact that I know different languages, that languages and using languages is my passion, that I'm absolutely fascinated by different things that I can do with a language and how we can express ourselves as people through language, so that it also ties into the whole business and languages course, of course. Huh. And what you should write about? Well, it's quite hard to tell since I have no idea what you want to study, but I hope you do know what you want to study if you're thinking about applying to university. I think the most important part is that you should never mention the college, university, or course that you apply for by name, because remember, you submit only one personal statement for all the courses, all the universities that you have applied to. So it's very important to not make that mistake and to not mention any of them by name. Look at course descriptions, identify the qualities, skills, experience it requires. This can help you figure out what you might have already done but haven't really thought about. You can include as the part of your skills or experience that you already possess, that you already have. You have to tell the reader why you're applying. Add your ambitions as well as what interests you about the subject, the general idea of studying somewhere else. If you are from Europe, for example, you can say why you want to study abroad. Why do you want to study in England? That's what I did. I think it took up an entire paragraph in my personal statement. Include any clubs, societies, any extra lessons you take after school that might back up your personal statement, that might back up why you want to study the course that you've applied for. Also think about what makes you suitable as a person. It is basically a motivational letter for the university you applied to. So think about the university as if it was your future employer. Tell them why it is you who should join them for the freshers for the next 3 years, or maybe 4 or 5 years, who knows. Mention any relevant employment, or if you have volunteered anywhere. At that, show them that you're not only a high school student, but you're also an active part of the society and you like to get involved. This is very important. And also in the future, once you get to university, it's a great fun to actually get involved with what university is doing. I'm not talking about going to freshers events only, but I'm talking about going to societies and clubs or debates. We had a political debate and we had a lot of meetings where You could talk about your worries and concerns, but also give some ideas for future events at university, which was really cool. If there's any personal circumstances which have affected your educational performance, outline them in your personal statement. That might be something that caused you to miss school, if it was a physical or mental health condition, or caring for a family member. Let them know. You can really show yourself and show your passion, ambitions, and who you are as a person. Because in England, which was quite weird at first for me, it does not only count how you did in high school. This is not the only thing that matters. There are also other things. So a lot of universities, especially arts universities, would not take someone who has no idea how to draw, but they can draw pretty alright, because they're looking for someone who has already been developing and needs further help to achieve the level in their craft they aspire to have in the future. So it's not only about your grades, it's also about what you did extra, if you know what I mean. I hope you do. So this is the place where you can really show yourself from the best side that you have, and write it in an enthusiastic, concise, and natural style. It can't be anything too complex. It should feel real, but it also shouldn't feel like a casual chat. So think about introducing yourself, but introducing yourself to your future lecturer, for example. Nothing too formal, but also nothing extremely casual. Okay, middle ground, which sounds quite hard to achieve, but trust me, it's really, really not that hard. Try to stand out, but also be very careful with humor, quotes, or anything unusual. We have no idea who's going to read your personal statement. You don't know the people that are going to select the future students, so you can't assume that someone is going to find it as funny as you did. So be careful with that. Structure your info to reflect the skills and qualities the universities and colleges value the most. Yet again, use course descriptions to help you show them that you possess all the qualities that they are looking for in their students. Show them that you will not have a problem with being a part of a university, and especially their university. Proofread aloud, get your teachers, advisors, family to check, redraft, to check for spelling. This is very important, because remember, you want to show yourself from your best side. If you really want to get to that university, which I assume you do, why else write a personal statement? Why else lose so much time? Just check it. Check also the character and line limit. I think it was 2,000 words, but I might be wrong. I think it's 4,000 characters, 47 lines now, I think, but always double check. And first, write it, copy it to your application after you feel like it's done. Give yourself some time to think about it, sleep on it, proofread it, and then when you're sure you did a good job, send it off. I hope it was helpful and you know slightly more about personal statements now, and I shall speak to you soon. Have a lovely rest of the week. Bye now.